Welcome to the Saturday edition of CBB Talk. Sorry I couldn't bring one yesterday. I just had no time, man. I had no time. Went to the gym after school, and then I was going out later, and I just had no time to get one done. But we'll bring one on a Saturday morning here before the games start. I'm mostly going to talk about what's coming on today, but we can talk a little bit about what happened over the last couple days. Yesterday we had two good games. But first we got to start off with some sad news out of Providence. Bryce Hopkins out for the year with a torn ACL. It sucks. I had Providence in my top 3 of the Big East when I redid it last episode, and such a good player, their best player, out for the year. They ended up losing that game to Seton Hall on the road. They probably win that game with B-Hop there. And now I moved them out of my top 25. It's just going to be I don't know if they can able to maintain what they got going. They've been having a really good start to their season with first-year coach Kim English. It's unfortunate what's happened, but let's see if this team can, hold strong and make a tournament this season. It's going to be tough without B-Hop, but Dev Carter's going to have to step up. Aduro, they're big. He's got to step up. I still think Providence is a very good team, but man, this is just unfortunate to see, just dribbling up the court. Kind of takes a little jump past lands. It looks like it was a hyperextension, but it was not a pretty injury. Sucks there. Some better news is Miami, a team that I kept having ranked because I believed in Miami. They ended up beating Clemson pretty easily after a close first half. They put 60 on 1 in the second half. Nigel Pack had a huge performance there, and this was without Ruger Poplar. So a very good win from Miami there. I moved Miami up to 15th, and I dropped Clemson to 18th, and Clemson's got another tough test later today at 12 o'clock. So right after this podcast comes up, Miami's going to have a huge test, but it's going to be at home. Not a must-win game for Miami, but something I would like to see there. And then Arizona beat Colorado in on what was that, Thursday. It was a little eye-opening for me watching that beatdown put on by Arizona. Colorado did not have two of their best 4 players, and I clearly it showed no two of the best 3 really. Cody Williams and Tristan Da Silva not playing there, but it wasn't close. I thought Colorado could keep it close. It was a big spread, and they didn't cover at all. That's Arizona. They're a dominant team at times, but they've shown inconsistencies this year, and they can play hot and cold. I moved to Arizona. They're still 13th in my rankings there. Because they have some weird losses this year, but a good win for them, and they should be able to win the Pac-12 but clear in a way. I have no other Pac-12 team ranked right now because Utah took a weird loss there to Arizona State. But Oregon does look good. Oregon has beat Washington on the road earlier this week too, but the Pac-12 is not looking like a strong conference at the moment. And Colorado, man, they need to get healthy because that was eye-opening performance there. Not even keeping it close with Arizona. And so I dropped Providence and Colorado out of my top 25. The two new teams in is Auburn and Wisconsin. They're my new teams now into the top 25. So it's good to see that from those programs. And maybe I'm low in Wisconsin because they're higher in the AP poll, and Auburn I think is finally getting the respect they deserve. Even though they started off slow, they've had their loss to App State is not a great loss, but we'll see how they go in playing the SEC play. So yeah, I'm gonna take a one quick break and then come back and we can talk about this weekend. All right, let's come back to this weekend here. Really 2 notable games on Friday we can talk about quickly. UConn hold on the road game against Butler there. After being down 7, they scored 53 points in the second half there. Again, reminder, this UConn team has been working without Klingon these last week or two, and they've so far held strong. They're 13-2 on the year, only 1 loss in Big East play so far. Alex Caravan, one of the most underrated players in the country, 20 in this one, 4 for 6 from 3. Tristan Noon had 17 while struggling from the field, 3 for 12 there. Stephon Castle finally playing better. I want to see Stephon Castle starting to break out here. He had a very good game, 14. Yeah, Spencer 14, and they've had Samson Johnson come in and play the backup big. He's held well. And yeah, I mean, this team is just gonna have to try to survive without Klingon here, and you gotta win these games against not the high-end Big East teams. And Butler's a good team; they're improved from last year. I just don't think they're a tournament team this year. But a really good win to get any road win in the Big East, if it's not the Pulp, is a quality, maybe a quad one win there. So good win for UConn. I got them at number 5. And then the other one was one of the highly anticipated games if Terrence Shannon was playing, but still a really good game. Illinois versus Purdue. This game was just a game of runs. Purdue started off this game really, really good. They were up 24-8, 20-something to 8. It was a beatdown. Illinois then makes a run, but then Purdue closes the half strong, and they go up 15 into the break. And then we thought Purdue was going to have an easy win, and Illinois in that last 5 minutes, tries to make a good comeback there, but Purdue holds on to win by 5 there. And it wasn't the Zaki dominant performance there, which you expect to see from a Purdue game, which is very impressive. Kaufman goes into the starting lineup, who he hasn't been starting most of the year, has 23 in this one, 8 for 12. Zaki, the only 10 points in this one, didn't miss a shot. Illinois did play them really well, throwing a lot of bodies on them and made other people beat them. And if Purdue can get these other players to step up and have games like this, they're going to be hard to beat. Braden Smith, 14. Lance Jones had a good game with 17 there. On the Illinois side, I think this Illinois team is still really good. This confirmed it there. A 5-point loss on the road to Purdue. And look, you can say without Terrence Shannon, but they're probably not going to have him the rest of the year. So they're going to have to adjust. And a really good game for Marcus Domask. He stepped up and he's going to be their top player, 26. Gary Ayer had 18. Lucas Goody, 16. Coleman Hawkins. I think Coleman Hawkins is going to have to step up. He had 11 in this one. But really, their bench, they've lost depth now, losing their best player. And they're going to have to find some more depth there. But I think Illinois is still a good team. I still got them in my top 10. I dropped them number 9 there, behind Marquette and Colorado State. But I think Illinois is still really good. I think they're the second best team in the Big Ten, but tough game there. I mean, if you went in and won at Mackey, it would have been really impressive. But again, no one goes and wins in Mackey. So you can't take too much away from that from either one of those teams. Purdue is probably the best team in the country, and they're playing like it right now. But Illinois held their own in a game where we do not know. We're assuming that Terrence Shannon won't be here for the rest of the season, and if that is true, I still think this team can win a game or two in the tournament. I don't think their ceiling is clearly not as high, but I still think they're a very, very good team. But let's move on to today, because we have a first great Saturday of conference play, and we got some amazing games. Marquette at Seton Hall is a good one to start at 12 on CBS Sports Network. This is going to be a good one. Marquette, again, winning any road game in the Big East is not an easy task. Seton Hall's pulled off some upsets this year. Let's see if they can do it again. Marquette coming off a good win earlier this week. Or no, was that last Saturday? No, when did they play Creighton? No, that was earlier this week. Coming off a good win earlier this week. Now they got to go on the road. Shaheen Holloway seems playing well. We'll see. That's going to be a tight one there. Good SEC matchup, actually. Mississippi State, South Carolina. Only 3 combined losses from these teams. South Carolina's played a pretty easy schedule this year. 1 loss is to Clemson. But that's a good one there. Both these teams could be tournament teams. But a really good game at 12. The star of the 12 o'clock slate is UNC Clemson here. This is a great ACC showdown. This is in Lil John Coliseum at Clemson here. Clemson 2.5-point favorites. I really like this Carolina team, man. But I also really like the Clemson team. Obviously, RJ Davis, PJ Hall, they're the 2 leading scorers in the ACC. PJ Hall going to be matched up with Baycott. Pretty even matchup. I give the advantage to PJ Hall there. But again, the guards for UNC are the stars, especially this year. Elliot Cadeau has been a pretty solid freshman there. Cormac Ryan, even off the bench. He starts actually some games. He's been up and down, but he's had moments where he's been very good. And then RJ Davis, obviously the star there. Clemson, again, Chase Hunter is a good player. Shiflin is a big that can get rebounds and take some pressure off PJ Hall on the boards there. Joe Girard, the veteran's been this ACC player his whole career. From coming from Syracuse, he's been amazing this year. I think this is a really good matchup here. But Clemson, prove to me that you're still very, very legit here. 1-1 this week would have been such a W for Clemson. They would have taken that at the beginning of the week. If they can do that, it speaks volume to them. But this is going to be a really tough game. Hard for me to predict. I would take Carolina plus the 2.5 though. I have UNC ranked 11. And I have Clemson ranked 18. So I'm a little UNC ranked at 8. I don't know. They've had 3 losses this year, but this would be a really, really tough game. But also going to be amazing. Clemson at Florida at 12:30. Florida minus 3.5 in this one. I'm a little shocked that Florida's minus 3.5. Look, they beat no one this year, but they haven't lost anyone bad. They've just had an expected season from Florida. No really crazy results. Haven't really talked to them at all in CBB Talk here. But I'm actually surprised at 3.5. It's never easy to go in Gainesville and win a game. But I think Kentucky can win this game and should win this game. I can't believe the 3-point underdogs. I love this Kentucky team. I got them ranked 4th in the nation because, look, I know they lost to UNCW at home, but besides that, they've played outstanding this year. I love this Kentucky team. Right, they're one of my favorites to win a national championship at this moment. And I know it's risky betting on youth like that. Let's see if they can get a tough road win today against a good Florida team, but I'm not sure how good. And I know how good Kentucky is. So that line's very surprising to me, if I'm being honest. St. John's is going at Villanova. That's a very, very good game. Both these teams looking to make tournaments. They both are 10-4. Villanova is a better team. They escaped one this week against Xavier at home. Let's see if they can get another nice home win in the Big East. And that's what you got to do in the Big East. Maintain serve at home and try to pick off some games on the road. And you should be able to make a tournament here. But St. John's, no slouch of opponent. Rick Pitino has a pretty solid squad in year one up there in Long Island. That game's at 1 on Fox. 2, ESPN 2. We have Auburn in Bud Walton at Arkansas. Really tough one here for the Tigers. Their first real challenging game in a while. And Arkansas needs a win. Of course, they have a good win over Duke this year at home. And Bud Walton's one of the hardest places to go in and play. They're 2-point underdogs, though. Again, Auburn's a really good metrics team. They've played well. They started season 0-1. They're 11-1 since that one loss on the road against App. And that's a little concerning. You lose against App State. Can you go in and win at Arkansas? Not sure. I like Arkansas in this one. Again, Arkansas is a weird team. I was super high on them coming in the year. I thought Trayvon Brazile was going to come back, be fully healthy. Devo Davis, LL. They picked up some really good players. And they just haven't so far lived up to the expectations that I have for them, at least. But I still think they can be a very, very good team. I mean, they've won 3 in a row. Their last loss was against Oklahoma. They beat UNCW by a nice 16, who UNCW is a respected team. They really are. But they're looking for they got a good signature win against Duke. They're looking to start SEC playoff hot. And look, Tremont Mark, he's been very good. He's came back after missing that Duke game and still won. Keon Menfield, who just became eligible, averaging 15 for them. So I think this Arkansas team has the talent. They no doubt have the talent here. And they have the coaching. So I think Arkansas can very much pull off this upset here at home. This is a team that I had high expectations. And they're going to be a close tournament team. We'll see if they can turn around going in the SEC play. That game is at 2 o'clock on ESPN2, I believe. Providence at Creighton. Wow, Creighton minus 11 here. Well, that's what we see what Vegas thinks about Providence without B-Hop. I still think that's a good game. I think Providence can keep it close there, but I do think Creighton will get that home win. Creighton, still a very good team. TCU is at Kansas on CBS. TCU's played no one this year, and they haven't beat anyone. They're 11-2, going in Allen Fieldhouse. I think they can keep it close. Kansas has these weird games where they start slow and then end up pulling away in that second half, but it could be close. But I think Kansas wins this game. Virginia at NC State. NC State's actually 1-point favorites here at home. That's going to be a good one there. NC State barely beat Notre Dame this week, but hey, Virginia got whooped by Notre Dame. So NC State's going to be a weird team. DJ Burns, DJ Horn. They have good players. I don't know how good they really are. I don't think either of these teams are that good, but someone's gonna finish what, fifth or sixth in the ACC. It could be one of these two teams. Miami's going at Wake Forest, a tough task for Miami. I spoke with Wake Forest last episode that they're playing really good with Steve Forbes' team, led by a lot of transfers there. Let's see if they can get a nice win against Miami. Miami coming off a big game against Clemson. Miami, you win this, you're going to be in the AP poll next week. You're going to be high in my poll. You're already 15th there. Wake Forest, let's see if you can get some respect here with a win and maybe climb into my poll. Nebraska's going at Wisconsin. Big game in the Big Ten. I got Wisconsin ranked. Nebraska win this game on the road. You may be ranked during my Monday episode. Really good game there in Madison. I like Wisconsin get a win there. But Nebraska, good win early this week against Indiana. We'll see how they can fare on the road though. But Fred Hoiberg has his best team so far at Nebraska. JMU trying to stay undefeated on the road against Southern Miss. Should be a win. They get tested on the road against Louisiana earlier this week. Pulled away in that second half. Expect them to do the same thing today and move to 15-0. And Houston plays at home against West Virginia, so they should stay undefeated there. I expect after this weekend, there'll be 2 undefeated teams left. Sorry. Looking for the next game. There's really nothing like the 4. The 4 slot's kind of dead, guys. So if you're gonna be doing something, make sure you're doing it around 4 to 6, because there's really nothing. And then 6 o'clock, we got some good games. We have really like 2 good games at 6. Ohio State's going at Iowa State. Iowa State is a very interesting team. A team I haven't talked about a lot. They're led by their guards, Lipsy, the second-year player. He was underrated as a freshman. Now as a sophomore, he's really taking that next step and has been Iowa State's maybe best player this year. And then Oklahoma, we've talked about them. Again, I've been skeptical in Oklahoma this year. One loss is to UNC, and now they're starting Big 12 play with a tough one here. But you got to win your home games in the Big 12 there against like opponents. I think Iowa State's a little worse. I got Oklahoma ranked 17th there. Let's see if they can get a win. They're 2.5-point favorites, though. That's going to be a really good one. And then at 6 o'clock on SEC Network, we got undefeated Ole Miss is going into Tennessee. They're 11.5-point underdogs as an undefeated team. This is why I think they'll take their first loss. I have Ole Miss ranked 19th. A loss there could knock them out. I got Tennessee ranked 6th. I'm high on Tennessee this year. I think what usually happens with these Tennessee teams is they've been lacking offense the last couple of years. I think they've got it now. Dalton Connect stepped up. They've got healthy guy Ziegler back. I think the Tennessee team's really good. And look, I didn't like Tennessee last year, and they still made a Sweet 16. I like this Tennessee this year. I think they have a ceiling to get to a Final Four. But Rick Barnes has failed to do that so far as the coach over there in Knoxville. But I think they should be able to win this game. But let's see if Chris Beard, people are skeptical because of their schedule they've played so far. But they're 13-0, and I have to respect that. They have a nice win over Memphis, I believe. Yes, I do think Ole Miss is a very, very good. I think Ole Miss is a very good team, but I'm skeptical they can get to that next level being a great team. Colorado is going at Arizona State. Arizona State had a good win against Utah this week. Let's see if they can get another good win against Colorado. Colorado, try to get a nice win here to maintain a good tournament resume and don't want to lose 2 in 1 week in the Pac-12. Utah is going at Arizona here. Utah probably not going to win this game. Probably going to lose 2 in 1 week. You just don't want to do that. Arizona is known to be a little inconsistent, though, but I believe they'll win this game there, especially at home in the McKale Center, where no one wins. Texas Tech's going at Texas. Could be interesting there. Grant McCasland has a good start to his career at Texas Tech there. But I'm liking this Texas team the way they've been playing recently. I'm a little higher on them than some people. So give me Texas there in the Moody Center to get a nice win. Another banger Mountain West game a little later in the night at 9. Colorado is going at Utah State. Colorado State is going at Utah State. Utah State 13-1 this year, kind of flying under the radar. They're 2-point favorites in this one against maybe my Colorado State Rams. I got them ranked 8th in the nation. I think I'm like the highest on Colorado State. They get the job done. They win games. Isaiah Stevens is a dog. He's amazing. Um, but this Utah State's one of the toughest places to play in the country here. The D. Glenn Smith Spectrum in Logan, Utah. This is gonna be a really, really good one here. Utah State, a team that usually is a firepower offense, this year is not. They're more of a defensive team. Let's see if they can pick off Colorado State here at home. For the Mountain West, you probably want Utah State to win if you want to get 4 or 5 tournament teams in. Again, we're early in the year for talking about that, but it's almost the case here. I like Colorado State, though, to actually pull off this upset here. I can't go against my Rams. I'm claiming them. They're my Rams. You can't go against them. That's really it. I guess Cincinnati's going at BYU. Cincinnati's is like TCU. They've beat no one this year. And I think BYU is a good team. A 10 o'clock Big 12 game. Probably the first ever. That's in Provo there. So yeah, today is stacked of conference play. We're going to have some changes in my top 25. I guarantee that. So be on the lookout for that. Sunday, Michigan's at Northwestern. That's about it. That's a good game. Northwestern struggled of recent. Michigan State hasn't. So they're two teams going in the opposite direction there. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get this episode out and be out by 11:20. Hopefully you can watch it and then go right into the games. Peace out, guys, and go watch some college basketball. The last NFL Sunday today. We've got 2 NFL games today. Give me the Ravens with their backups. I think the Steelers are gonna win. And then give me the Texans to beat the Colts and make the playoffs. Peace.